Hello everyone. In this video, I want to talk about developing a systematic approach to exploring a given data set. So just to give you a little bit background, we've talked about quite a lot of important features when you're working with a data set using Python. And Specifically, we've discussed how to work with series and data frames and why are data frames one of the most suitable data structures for working with data set when it comes to the field of data science. And then we looked at quite a few other functionalities available in Python as well. We've looked at how to deal with missing values in a data set, how to find out if there are missing values, and how to replace them and impute them with a suitable value. We've also discussed group by statements, um, creating Boolean indexing based subsets of a given data set. And lastly, we've also seen how to read in data from a CSV file in Python, how to read in data set into a data frame. So let's continue from there. I will continue working on the Titanic data set because by now you all will be very familiar with the data set. So I want to be talking about a systematic approach that you need to take when you get a new data set. Because as we discussed, the first step in data analysis is to explore the data. And we've also discussed the objectives of data exploration. So basically, our intention is to know each and every column that is there in the data set, to know it really well, to know the data types, to know the type of values it takes, find out missing information, do the replacements, and also look at some significant important relationships that might be there in the variables or features that are present in a data set. So let's get started. So what I've done is I have written down a set of 6 steps, which are basically a set of sequential steps which you need to take when you want to do a comprehensive EDA exercise. So given a data set, the first thing that you do is, let me start annotation here. The first thing you look at how many rows and columns are present in that data set and what are the data types of the rows and columns that are present in the data set. Once you found that out and you know which are the numeric columns, which are the categorical columns, then you start working with the summary statistics as we had discussed before. So now you know that when it comes to numeric data types, you can work with a dot describe function for a data frame, or you can basically look at the mean, median. You can even create a histogram to look at the univariate distribution of a given numeric data type. And we have also discussed that for categorical data types, we can essentially look at the number of categories that are present and what are the frequencies or number of observations that fall into each of those categories. So that is basically your step 2, which is to just get to know each of the data column and get to understand the type of values that it takes and explore the distributions. So we have discussed that quite a bit till now. So I'm going to be focusing on step 3 onwards, which is to first start looking at the univariate visualization of the distributions of the data. So we look at a new visualization library or module that's available in Python for creating histograms and box plots, and what are the type of visualizations which you can use to create bar charts for categorical data. Then step 4, I will be talking about bivariate analysis. So how can you look at the relationship between two numeric data types, and how can you create scatter plots between those, and how can you look at the correlation coefficient between two numeric data types. And then in step 6 and in step 5, we will see how to create new columns. This is very important. Very often the data set that's given to you has information in it, but to make the most value of that information, you need to derive your own columns. So we will see how to convert categorical data columns into dummy variables, and then we will also see how to convert numeric data types into categorical data columns. So this is what I will be discussing in this particular video.